Krishna, the most crucial aspect of my life. I was not taught to worship Krishna, but he became an integral part of my day-to-day activities, in spite of everything that was going on around me. In one way or another, he has impacted my decisions in life, and I hope I can summarize from my understanding of who Krishna is. I'm presenting to you a number of philosophers who can help you understand who Krishna is and how to worship him. In the end, I'll take you back to my favorite piece of literature ever written in the human history.
One run can change your day. Many runs can change your life. So don't run with your legs. Run with your heart.
A monk from India. I will start with a monk I came across a number of years ago. His name is Amrendra Prabhu and he is a part of ISKCON Foundation. Now before you start assuming that I'm a part of the Hare Krishna movement, I want to clarify this, that I gravitate more towards Sampurna Krishna instead of limiting myself to the Bhakti aspect of the chase. In one of his videos, he very precisely describes in his own words who Krishna is. I've put the whole video link in the description below.
But Srila Prabhupada, when he came to the West, and even when he preached in India, he never compromised. He never diluted the conclusions of the scripture to match the opinion of the crowd. He kept the standard of the scriptures as it is and presented it, bridged it in a way that people could understand. He never diluted the philosophy. He never said, well, the Puranas say this, the Upanishads say this, the Vedas say this, Geeta says this, Bhagavatam says this. But you know what? Ultimately, yathamat tathapat. Reality is what you think it is. He never said that. He made it very crystal clear. And it's not a cult. It's not something that we all believe in unanimously because of some worldwide brainwashing. We are fixed. We follow this not because of blind faith, but because of authenticated faith. We look to the revealed scriptures, the words of God, the wisdom texts of Vedic age, and on the basis of the conclusions of different shastras and scriptural injunctions, we put the things together and we understand what the reality is.
In the first clip, he's talking about how the king of gods, Indra, describes Krishna and how a polar opposite description is given regarding the same individual by another deity. Take a look.
Indra here is actually criticizing Krishna. He says, Vachalam. Oh, this boy is too talkative. Vachalam. He's over talkative. Small boy and he's telling his father what to do, what not to do. Too much. This is Govardhan Leela. So Krishna speaks Karma Mimamsa philosophy and tells Nanda Baba, well, don't worship him. He has to give rain. You don't have to bribe him. You do your duty. He has to do his duty. It rains on the fields. They don't do a yajna. It rains on the mountains. They don't do a yajna. But you're doing a yajna for him and he's giving you the same that he's giving them. No. He has to do his duty. You don't have to give him all this. So Indra's false ego is just getting crushed. So he says, Vachalam, oh, this boy is talkative. Balisham, he's childish. Very childish. 7 years old. Too childish. He has some problem. He's not nourishing here. He's very immature. Vachalam, Balisham, Sthabdam. Oh, he's so arrogant, I tell you. This Krishna, this boy is so arrogant. Vachalam, talkative. Balisham, childish. Sthabdam, arrogant. Ajna, foolish. And still, Panditamanina, he still considers himself to be a Pandit. Now this is what Indra said, out of false ego and pride. But the Acharyas explain that Goddess Saraswati didn't have the audacity to carry this as it is to Krishna. Now imagine if somebody has burnt something while cooking and the waiter has to take it. He has to take it to the person who's going to eat it. And the person sees this. Hey, who made all this? Go away. What if he just hits the plate and the waiter has to face the anger, not the cook? So Goddess Saraswati, who's the goddess of learning and the goddess of speech, she didn't have the audacity to carry these words as it is. So she flipped it and presented to Krishna as glorification. So Indra is actually glorifying. She comes to Krishna and says, actually Indra is glorifying you. Vachalam, oh, there's nobody who can speak like you. Indra said, Vachalam means he's talkative. But Saraswati said, oh, Krishna, there can be nobody who can speak like you. At the age of 7, you speak so much. Oh, so wonderful. You explain so nicely. Vachalam, Balisham. Indra said childish. Goddess Saraswati said childlike. Oh, Krishna, you're the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But simply to give pleasure to the hearts of all the residents of Vrindavan, you're appearing as a child. Stabdam. Indra said, you're arrogant. Therefore, you don't bow down before anybody. Oh, Krishna, but the reality, Stabdam means you don't have to bow down before anybody because you're the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Stabdam. Ajna. Indra said Ajna means foolish, ignorant. But Goddess Saraswati translated Ajna as follows. She said Nya means knowledge. And Ajna means he who has no knowledge actually. But Saraswati said means no need of Nya, knowledge. You don't have to cultivate knowledge because knowledge originates in you. She also said there is nothing that you don't know. You're all cognizant. You know everything. Omniscient. And Pandita Manina. Indra said still considers himself to be a Pandit, but Saraswati said, oh my Lord, Vachalam, Balisham, Stabdam, Ajna. These are the conclusions of the great Pandits. They say there's nobody who can talk like you. Because Krishna would speak the Geeta in the future. In 48 straight minutes, he would speak 700 verses. So Vachalam, nobody can speak like Krishna. Balisham, who can perform childlike pastimes? Nandaha kim akarod brahman shreyameva mahodayam yashoda cha mahabhaga papau yasya stanam hari. Shukdev Goswami is asked by Parikshit Maharaj, unbelievable childlike pastimes. Krishna is drinking milk of Mother Yashoda. Oh, God who has everything, he is drinking the milk of Mother Yashoda. What have Nanda and Yashoda done? Childlike pastimes. Stabdam, Krishna doesn't have to bow down before anybody. Indra will bow down to Krishna. Brahma bows down to Krishna. Krishna doesn't have to bow down because he's the source of everything. And everything comes from him. Everything comes from Krishna. Ajna, he knows everything. There's nothing that he doesn't know. There's nothing outside of him. Everything is inside. Krishna is the source of everything. So we find how Indra is also indirectly glorifying Krishna. And even Saraswati, Goddess Saraswati, who is the embodiment of learning. She's the epitome. She's the origin of everything. Knowledge, material knowledge. But she also understands that, well, the words have to be flipped because Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna is called Uttama Shloka because he is glorified with choicest poetry. Uttama Shloka, Gunanuvarnanam. So in this way, so many references.
Another very important depiction of Krishna is given by Brahma in Brahma Samhita.
What does Brahma as the creator of everything say? Brahma is considered to be the secondary creator. The primary cause is Krishna. So Brahma, who creates everything and who was imparted the knowledge of creation in his heart, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye, to that Brahma whom everything is known, that Brahma in the Brahma Samhita constantly goes on saying, Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami.
This depiction means, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor. Primeval here means something of the earliest times in the history. and the progenitor, in simple terms, means a parent figure. By now, we know that Krishna is ignorant for one and beyond understanding for the other, childish and childlike, father and a child too. Complicated, right? Stay with me for a few minutes and hopefully things will get clearer. Acharya Prashant and his guidance over understanding Krishna. If you were recommended this video by YouTube, you would have definitely come across Acharya Prashant. With a massive youth following and popularity, he is known to explain dharma in a simple way, unadulterated.
सत्य मात्र कृष्ण नहीं हो सकते, या यूं कह लीजिए कि राधा से वियुक्त कृष्ण सत्य नहीं हो सकते.
What he's really emphasizing is the fact that the only way to know the Purusha, which is Krishna, is to look at Radha or Prakriti and assume that there is some force, some thing known as Krishna. He further elaborates this point of understanding Krishna in the following clips.
केंद्र पर जो कृष्ण है उसको आप जान सकते नहीं, क्योंकि वो मन से आगे की बात है.
Now I really want you to keep yourself focused at what Krishna and Radha symbolically mean here when Acharya Prashant discusses them.
कृष्ण को भी कभी सीधे सीधे जाना नहीं जा सकता. कृष्ण को जो जानेगा वो राधा के माध्यम से ही जानेगा. कृष्ण को यदि आपको जानना है तो कृष्ण के संबंधों को देखना पड़ेगा, और कृष्ण के संबंधों में परम संबंध है कृष्ण और राधा का संबंध. सत्य को यदि आपको जानना है तो आपको संसार में बैठना पड़ेगा, संसार को पैनी दृष्टि से देखना पड़ेगा.
You see, it's important to see Krishna in everything that constitutes the Prakriti. Everything that exists has some essence of Krishna. I had been taught to respect a lot of things like money, status, elders, and so forth. But really and fundamentally, I was focusing all my energy on the one and only Krishna. Not the Makhanchor, Ranchor, or the charioteer we know him as, but the real form of Krishna.
क्योंकि निरे कृष्ण, कोरे कृष्ण हमारे किसी काम के नहीं है. जब मैं कृष्ण कह रहा हूं तो आशय समझिएगा सत्य, आत्मा.
Devdutt Pattanaik, a mythologist. So if you do not have time to search through the scriptures for authentic information related to dogmas and practices and our culture, the next best thing is Devdutt Pattanaik. In my opinion, he is the most integral part of bridging the gap between the ancient texts and the modern world. What he is describing here is how the forms of different deities in the culture have been represented, starting with leading on to Jagannath, a form or name of Krishna in the Puri region of Odisha.
A space has been given in the divine pantheon for Aruna, god of dawn, whose upper half is perfect and the lower half is not perfect, and yet he is considered divinity. But we don't see it, we are not told about it, we invisibilize Aruna. And then of course where I come from, I'm from Odisha, and all my life I have worshipped Jagannath. And look at the image carefully, it's an image of Krishna, Balabhadra and their sister Subhadra. And Krishna is supposed to be Sringara Murti, the most beautiful being on earth. But look at the statue carefully. No hands, no legs, no eyelids, no nose, no ears, and yet complete divinity.
Krishna, as described by Arjun. For the final part of the video, I'll quote a few things said by Arjun in the holy text of Bhagavad Gita. After facing the conundrum of his thoughts and cultural values, Arjun gets clarity after seeing the true form of Krishna. Let's hear what he had to say. Read the Sanskrit part by yourself because my pronunciation will corrupt the scriptures and I'm not willing to do that. O Lord Vishnu, seeing your form touching the sky, effulgent in many colors, with mouths wide open and enormous blazing eyes, my heart is trembling with fear. I have lost all courage and peace of mind. This entity, this person, described as the most attractive thing in the world, is being described as something scary and intimidating by a warrior in the Kurukshetra war. Having seen your many mouths bearing your terrible teeth, resembling the raging fire at the time of annihilation, I forget where I am and do not know where to go. O Lord of Lords, you are the shelter of the universe. Please have mercy on me. This beautiful form of Krishna that I was always fed by everyone around me is a polar opposite of what Arjuna is saying about Krishna here. You are the primeval God and the original divine personality. You are the soul resting peace of this universe. You are both the knower and the object of knowledge. You are the supreme abode, O possessor of infinite forms. I repeat, O possessor of infinite forms, you alone pervade the entire universe. Conclusion. Krishna is beautiful. He is sweet, kind, loving, ruthless, deeply attached, while completely unaffected by the events around him. To know Krishna, we have to understand the duality of nature. To know Krishna, we have to understand Prakriti. And to love Krishna, we have to love Prakriti. I come from a nation guided by the ideology of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
We never say that if you believe in my philosophy, then you will achieve your goal. What we say that ekam sat vipraha bahuda vadanti. Truth is one. Sages call it in a different way. So we don't believe. We believe in a one God. People think that he is Allah. Another thing is a Isu. One says it's a Rama. One says it's a Krishna. It is up to the believers. God is one. We don't say that Hindu's God is separate, Muslim God is separate, Christian God is separate. This is not our philosophy. We believe in a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Whole world is family. This is in our DNA. This is in our genetic system. I belong to a culture which culture says the whole world is one family. How can we hate any community, even any person?